The man was completely surprised. He was just a swordsmanship teacher from the countryside, yet his strength was the greatest in the world. However, he was completely unaware of his own power. Yet, every disciple he taught became a renowned figure in their own right. Today, Jenny, one of his former disciples and now the captain of the Knights, invited him to become the instructor of the Knights Order. Jack thought he was too old and incapable of fulfilling such a role. But since it was an invitation from the king, he couldn't refuse. Jack stood before the crowd and announced that he would be the one to teach swordsmanship from now on. This announcement was met with dissatisfaction from the audience, but since he was Jenny's teacher, they had no choice but to respect it. Soon, it was time for Jack to guide the training, but at that moment, Vice Captain John stepped forward. John believed that becoming their instructor required certain strength, so he wanted to see Jack's abilities for himself. This put Jack in a difficult position. After all, he was just a simple countryside teacher, and John might be stronger than him. However, some knights had heard rumors about Jack, such as his reputation as the sword saint from the countryside. At the same time, Jack made up his mind. Even if he lost, he wouldn't let himself lose in a humiliating way. He had to save face for Jenny. The match began, and John immediately launched a powerful offensive. Jack couldn't help but admire the force behind John's strikes. The crowd watched the current situation, believing that John's victory was inevitable. But Jack quickly found a weakness. This surprised John, who realized that he had underestimated Jack's strength. At that moment, Jack realized that John wasn't as strong as he had imagined. However, just one strike wouldn't be enough to convince the blonde-haired man. While defending, Jack noticed that John's speed and strength surpassed his own, but John's moves were very direct, making them easy to read. Jack successfully countered John's moves without any unnecessary actions. John was deeply impressed by Jack's skill. At this point, he wanted to know how Jack had managed to break his technique. Jack explained that if John's movements were more relaxed, he would have been completely unable to counter him. With this one statement, Jack instantly opened John's eyes to a new perspective.